What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, man. Gonna do a video today about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Canelo Alvarez and some of the back and forth that is taking place between these guys. And I'm listening to what people have to say and sharing their thoughts on it, man. And it just amazes me sometimes how the truth of something is obvious, but people will try to twist and turn things and make it something that is obviously is not. And Floyd Mayweather Jr., when he went after Canelo Alvarez called him back out, and then Floyd Mayweather Jr. responds. And I think that they're both telling the truth a little bit, but Floyd's truth rings a little more loudly for me. And I've been a critic of Floyd Mayweather Jr. in the past. I'm a fan of Canelo Alvarez. But just like Floyd said, man, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. And even right now at 42 years old, a retired fighter, it's no doubt who the biggest name and the biggest monetary gain, who the monetary king of boxing is. And that's Floyd Mayweather Jr. So let me go through what they both say. And then, I'm going to ask a question at the end of this, which will really just draw it home for anybody that wants to argue about it. So, hey, before I do that, thank you very much for tuning into the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more videos. And thank you to everybody that supports the channel by watching the videos and the commercials in them, to the super chat donations, the Venmo, and the Patreon. You are much, much appreciated. So, as we know, Canelo Alvarez got the quote unquote biggest contract in sports when he signed with DAZN. $365 million, 5 years, 11 fights. That's $33 million a fight, right? So is there anybody else that has a single contract that is as valuable as Canelo Alvarez? No. That is the biggest contract or the biggest single agreement in sports right now. So you would think, okay, is he the biggest money man in boxing or in sports? No, he's not. The biggest money man in boxing for sure is still Floyd Mayweather Jr. Canelo Alvarez says, though, just so we can say, this is off of TNT, he said, talking about Canelo making a rematch with Conor McGregor or Khabib, whose name I'm not going to try to do the last portion of that name, the MMA fighters. He says, if he wants to continue hurting boxing by making fights that don't make sense and not giving boxing the credibility it deserves, if he wants to return, I ask him to look my way to give a great fight to the fans. Let's do a second fight. It is very important. We have something pending here, so let's make the second fight. Okay? First, let me address what Canelo Alvarez says this is being a fan of Canelo. Dude, you just got popped dirty. You just got popped dirty, okay? You got a slap on the wrist by the WBC, all right? And you ain't going to miss a beat in your career for having done something that, honestly, a lot of people that I think he should have had a significantly heavier penalty for, but he didn't get it. What's bad for the sport are the best fights not being made. Fighting Rocky Fielding at 168 pounds, if you do not defend your 160-pound belt against the other champions, that's bad for boxing. Canelo Alvarez, if gets this money, and if this money winds up being a situation where he's fighting guys other than the top champions, the title holders at 160, that would be bad for boxing. Because what you'll have is a guaranteed, one guy getting guaranteed money with no incentive to take on serious competition. Even if he was to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. and he's calling out Floyd Mayweather Jr., Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a retired boxer. He's a 42-year-old man who already beat you, and you don't have any business trying to get into a fight with him regardless. You need to fight the Charlos. You need to fight Danny Jacobs. You need to fight Deverenchenko. You need to fight somebody like that. You can rematch Gennady Golovkin. You can do any and all of those things. That's what's good for boxing. Fight the other champions. Become the undisputed 160-pound champion. If you do that, you're doing what's good for boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr., as much as I would love to criticize, I cannot criticize Floyd, put it this way, I cannot criticize Floyd Mayweather Jr. any heavier for fighting Khabib for $200 million or getting another Manny Pacquiao fight for $150 million. I can't fault him for doing any of that, for the same reason why I can't fault you by going over to the zone and fighting Rocky Fielding for $33 million. You got your bag, you made your money, he got his bag, you got his money. But Floyd Mayweather Jr. has already done the Hall of Fame career from 126 pounds up to 154 pounds. He's 42 years old. He's done everything that he needs to do, but it's up to the younger fighters who are on the pound for pound, quote unquote, pound for pound list to do their part to see who the best fighter in boxing is. And even calling out Floyd Mayweather Jr. is questionable because the dude is already gone from fighting, is already stopped fighting the top pound for pound fighters in the world. If you want to call somebody out and prove you're the best, call out Jermall Charlo. And that's me coming from a Canelo Alvarez fan point of view. I would say the same. I've said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather Jr. when I thought he should have fought Keith Thurman. I'll say the same thing about any of these guys. I would say the same thing about Anthony Joshua need to fight Deontay Wilder. Trying to call out a dude that's in retirement and has taken a very, very well-paid victory lap is not impressive to me. Now, on to what Floyd Mayweather Jr. said in the first part of my conversation. You can see this actually I'll put it up in the video. Floyd says, it didn't matter if Canelo ate his PED steak or not this night. This was by far the easiest fight of my career. Conor McQuitter was a way better fighter than Canelo's cheating ass, and I beat the brakes off him too. It takes me 36 minutes or less to make $300 million plus. It literally takes me one night in one fight to make what you might make in 5 years and 11 fights. So really, who's still winning? You do the math. And that is dead on, 100%, not a doubt about it, accurate. And this is the point that I'm bringing up. The point that Floyd Mayweather Jr. makes in this video, in this statement, to me, is I think it's better understood by the people who for some reason are acting as if Canelo Alvarez signed with DAZN, signed with Eddie Hearn, and how somehow this is making Eddie Hearn the king of boxing. Look, when there will be another fighter who's in the position of Floyd Mayweather Jr., who will make the money that is being paid to Canelo Alvarez, that Anthony, and it could have been Anthony Joshua, if Anthony Joshua came to the United States and fought Deontay Wilder. It could be Deontay Wilder if Deontay Wilder solidifies the heavyweight championship. But the most important thing, because this is almost always the case, and what people forget, when we're talking about the money that's being made, Canelo Alvarez is making per fight what Evander Holyfield was making 20 years ago and what Lennox Lewis was making 20 years ago. If Mike Tyson was Mike Tyson right now, it would be Mike Tyson that would have got the guaranteed $500 million for 11 fights, because he has the interest of the American boxing public. And that interest begins in the reason why Canelo Alvarez can get that money, the money that he did, is because he has the attention of the Mexican American fight fans. The reason that Floyd Mayweather Jr. can make $200 million in a fight against a guy that's not even a boxer, and can probably have done it back to back, and did the same thing with Manny Pacquiao, and might have $150 million fight with Manny Pacquiao, is because at a point he galvanized the black fight fans in the United States and then drew the interest of the rest of the fight world and got opponents that people wanted to see him lose to. Whatever the case is, that is what got Floyd Mayweather Jr. over the hump. And the important thing to remember about that is that in the end of the day, it's not the network that's going to get these dudes the money. It makes them big, that makes them influential. It is the fight fans that support them that make them that way. DAZN is only paying that money, guaranteeing that money so they can have Canelo on there, and then they can think that if Canelo fight fans want to see Canelo fight, then they'll subscribe to the deal. But at the end of the day, it's the fight fans that are doing it. If you're not from America, if you are not an American fight fan, if you are not buying if you're not buying the fights on American TV, you are not the demographic they're going after. And more than likely, you don't know what you're talking about. And even if you did know what you're talking about, you have no influence in that regard. I keep hearing people who aren't even from the United States talking about what's going on with the money that's being spent by Americans on fights that happen in America. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is 100% right here because he has the backing of his community and he has the eyes of the communities that interact with us on a regular basis. He can make more money in 2 fights than Canelo will make in 5 years. And if you don't believe me, let's take a guess. How much money do you think it would take that would DAZN have to pay Floyd Mayweather Jr. for a 5-fight deal? For a 5-fight deal. Not 11-fight deal, for a 5-fight deal. They would have to guarantee that dude $1 billion for a 5-fight deal. $200 million a fight, because Canelo got $30 million a fight for his last 3 pay-per-views against Gennady Golovkin and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. in 3 of his last fights made over $200 million. So if you use the same calculation, how much would it cost DAZN to sign Floyd? And Floyd could do that and fight anybody he wanted to fight. They would have to come off of $1 billion for 5 fights using the same calculation that they do for Canelo. And it will happen for another Black American fighter again. As soon as one of these guys, whether it is Terrence Crawford, whether it is Errol Spence Jr., whether it's Deontay Wilder, whether it's Jamal Charlo, whoever it is that gets that, if it was Tank Davis, whoever it was, Devin Haney, whoever it is that pops out of the top and earns the same respect that that pretty boy Floyd Mayweather earned when he was at 126 and at 130 and at 135, whoever it is that comes out like that will be in the same position that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is now. But because Floyd already set the prices are only going to go up. Throughout the history of heavyweight boxing and history of boxing, the number one people have made more and more money. And that is not going to change. It went from Jack Johnson to Jack Dempsey to Joe Louis to Muhammad Ali to Sugar Ray Leonard to Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis to Oscar De La Hoya and then to Floyd Mayweather Jr. It went up and up and up. And if Canelo Alvarez had the same interest in the Mexican community as he had in the Black communities he had in the Mexican community, he also would be making that type of money. But he doesn't. So even though he's the highest paid boxer in boxing, he's not the highest paid boxer in boxing right now. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is. And so I'll just leave it at that. While we're getting all happy about Canelo, DAZN taking over American boxing because they have Canelo. Dude, Canelo, first of all, isn't American, he's Mexican. But Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the top money man in boxing, and he will be replaced by somebody in his own community. You can bet your bottom dollar on it. It is just a matter of time and a matter of these guys getting in the ring together and popping out the top. I have a very strong belief that when Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. face each other, and whoever can get out of that welterweight division, or whoever it is, and it could be Anthony Joshua too, if Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder fought and solidified that heavyweight championship, that those guys would be catapulted to the same area that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is. And that's my opinion because that's what history bears out. And it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.